this design project is for a Reverend Father of the Roman Catholic Church. The mason is a two-story building made of the ground and first floors and divided into 4 segments. And these segments are made visible by bands, horizontal bands. We have the plinth segment, we have the ground floor segment, the first floor segment, and then the roof segment. The shape of the floor plan typically aligns with the profile of the L-shaped site. The ground floor has 4 zones. The first zone is the servants' area, where the manservants or the other servers who serve the priests reside. The service zone, which contains the dining, kitchen, the store area, and the stairs, all cater to the well-being of the priest. The third zone, which is the meeting zone, includes the prayer room or chapel and the reception area or sitting room. The fourth zone is the living zone for guests, guests that are coming to see the priest, where they could stay, as an accommodation area for them. Okay, the upper floor has 3 zones. The servant zone is excluded on the upper floor. The living zones are on the flanks of the meeting zone. The living zone occupies more square area on this floor because this is the priest's resting area, and for other associated priests that serve as assistants to him, that serve as that assist him in the service of the church and all of that. So this is where they reside. This is the accommodation area. The library as a space for knowledge acquisition is within the confines of the meeting zone on this floor. When we look at this whole building concept, this whole building project, you'd notice that one thing we did was to make it easier to understand, was to demarcate them into zones, for proper understanding. And each zone has its own function, So in architecture, most of the time we have we have buildings being zoned into noisy zones, maybe because this side is more noisy, this side is more quiet, or we have people zoning based on functions. Here we are zoned. You see that it has actually been zoned based on functions. Okay, what this zone does, what this zone does not do, and their relation to themselves. Each zone is actually related to one another. Some zones are not directly related. That is, you cannot access one zone to the other zone, but you know what's going on. So I want to talk about the special building characteristics or the special building elements here. We have 2 special building elements. The first one is the bands, or the horizontal bands. The bands are unifying elements of this building. Remember that the shape of our building follows the profile of the site. What this actually means is that there are 2 shapes that meet that collide at an angle to form a whole L shape. It makes sense to introduce the bands that unify them, even though this is just it's illusionary. Now, the second other building element is the roof cornice. These are triangular shaped elements that start at the topmost band of the first floor and terminates at the roof underneath. For me personally, it creates an illusion of lifted hands, as though there are lots of hands, standing as support for the roof. Yeah. I would like to know what you think about this building design. You can drop your comments, you like, you share, and please subscribe to this YouTube channel.